Hi, this is a reaction to the YouTube of the best 20 countries in the world. So you've got Finland, where it's really cold, and the people are like, sorry to say, on the spectrum. They're really nice people. They just don't really talk, and there's no sun. And then you have Canada, where it's really cold, and there's a lot of alcoholism. Yeah, it's beautiful nature, but day to day life, it's really huge country. They don't have any public transportation. You need to have a car, and there's snow in most of parts of Canada. And also, the human beings there are not the most interesting in the world. Then there's Switzerland. Okay, so let me tell you my experience. Here's a Swiss dog. If your dog barks in a public place, you can get a fine. People are nasty to you if you want to talk to them. They're very suspicious. There's no sun. It's a gorgeous country, but there's no sun most of the year, unless you go to the mountains. Very expensive, very snotty, not very open to anyone from anywhere. And I don't want to sound like a poster for Israel, but we have here Muslims and Jews and Christians and Jaffa living side by side. Where in the world do you have that? And they live well in Jaffa. I don't know Jerusalem, but Jaffa is good, pretty much. And it's just really is nice to go into a kindergarten where Jewish and Muslim kids are together, and they celebrate holidays together, and it's nice. There's negative sides to Israel. I can mention the religious oppression. In fact, you can't get married unless you're in a religious ceremony. Gay marriage, I think, is out as well. But you know what? You don't get a fine for a dog barking. It is not always clean. But look what I have. I have a park bench. I can talk to anyone easily. And it is my culture as well. So there's no such thing as 20 best countries. It depends on what you want in life. And that's what I came to the conclusion. Since I'm in education, I don't feel comfortable in international education because I don't feel comfortable teaching content that is not really something I feel close to. I like the joy of life here. The kids are a bit wild, but I like that. I like kids that are happy and not oppressed, even though they might have lack of limits, but they don't have lack of joy, and they can express themselves. This is huge generalization. Israel has a lot of issues as well, but I don't think there is such a thing as 20 best countries. And the countries that you mentioned, like Singapore, getting a fine for dropping a wrapper on the floor. I mean, my priorities in life is not clean. I don't care if my partner is not organized. So most of the countries in the world on your list will be out because people there have a really strict OCD. They're always cleaning, and all these European countries, they're always cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, which leaves them little time for other things like enjoying life, talking to each other. And there's the sun factor. I think India would be a great place to live. They have yoga. They're very friendly. Yes, they have poverty, but even when they're very poor, they're very happy. Even if people don't have a lot to eat, they still have a smile and they're curious about other people. Even if they have crime, they still have a lot of spirituality. And I like this kind of contradictions. It makes life interesting. Like in Israel, there's a lot of contradictions. People may be very friendly, they're also very irritating. As happens, as it happens. And if you live in the European countries, people tend to be very fake, very funny, very polite. They'll say to you, Guten Tag, good morning, but don't really mean it. So here they don't say it. But when you talk to someone, they don't really fake things. It's not so phony. It's more exposed. The food here is really diverse and interesting. In Switzerland, I would have had 400 francs fine for this. That's not a quality of life. And most, I think, European countries that have high quality of life, you can't keep a pet without the neighbors calling the police on you. So chaos comes with comfort for me. Because there's chaos here, I can keep dogs, and people are outspoken. Yeah, they're just complaining about the dogs on the bench. Um, I don't know. I can speak English, I can speak German, a little bit of French, but where can I feel comfortable living? Where can I read the weekend paper with lots of criticism and various opinions? Well, mostly left, but who cares? Um, and the sky is really beautifully blue. That affects your mood directly. Directly. There's not a person here where you can't. Almost everybody here would be open to talk to you, and I know you want to go. Great place for dogs and kids. And so I would definitely say these are important factors in life. Am I completely happy 100% of the time? No, I'm not. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's irritating. But you know what? There's a joy of life here, as the French, joie de vivre, which is so missing from those countries you listed. So I'm going to post this on YouTube. I don't have a lot of views, but that's the same thing as my country. Not a lot of people like Israel, but that doesn't mean Israel is not worthy. Just because someone is not popular doesn't mean they're not worthy. That's what I wanted to say. Switzerland might be popular, Finland might be popular. I can imagine, but do you really want to spend time with Swiss people or Norwegian people or Finnish people or even, the Danish were quite nice. Was there a few hours on the stopover, which cost me more. The few hours I spent in Copenhagen for like 5 hours cost me more money than a week in Tel Aviv. It's just so expensive there. Even a slice of pizza. So, with all due respect, I like the people, but they can only open up when they're drunk. I don't want to live in a country where people can only talk to you if they have a certain percentage of alcohol in their blood. And sadly, all those countries you mentioned, there's a lot of alcoholism and drug addictions, which here I don't think they have that. I see people running, I see people talking. These are not features of addicts. Addicts don't talk. They don't communicate unless they have drugs or alcohol. Maybe, Shoshana. And there's these wonderful dogs you can adopt. There's a lot of dogs that are looking for homes, and they're desperate. The downside is that a lot of dogs get euthanized or killed, right, Shoshana? And you could save a life here. You can do a lot. There's a lot to be done here. And I don't want to live in a country where I don't have anything to do because everything's been taken care of. Oh, God, that was a sneeze. Here there's a lot to be done in society. I feel like my mission will never be accomplished here. There's just so much to be done in the education system that never will retire here. Always something to do. Especially spreading yoga, right, Shoshana? So this is something I wanted to say. I was thinking for a while to live in India. Yesterday I saw this amazing Netflix, what is it, A Suitable Boy. The colors of India, the spices, the beauty, it's just amazing. But there's such a downside to India. And that's what I wanted to say. The most interesting countries in the world have contradictions. They're beauty and they have a lot of ugly side, a great downside to them. Like India. India is amazing, probably. I've never been, but it has a lot of problems. So countries that have like everything is okay, everything is organized. Oops, they're not that interesting. Makam. So anyway, please line me up. I'm here on a park bench. Shoshana. And yeah, lack of limits has obviously has drawbacks, but it also has advantages. So don't put this stupid YouTube's 20 best countries in the world, because there is no best country in the world. There is the best place for you in your circumstances. And for me, this is the best country at the moment because it's language, it's culture, but it's mostly the sun and the fact that I can keep my dogs here without the neighbors calling the police because they're barking. This sense of freedom you have here, where the police are not constantly giving you fines for everything, is something that is to be noted. Granted, we have places in Israel that are not that nice. But the diversity is very exciting, and I think this is something I want to say. It's really exciting. Oh, even there's a Trump hat here. Oh my, make America great again. You have such a social diversity that is so exciting, isn't it? And a lot of history. It's nice here. And I don't know if it's the best country. It depends on who you are. There's no best country. There's no best person for you. There's no best. It's like saying who's the best person you want to spend the rest of your life with. It's something that depends on your circumstances and what you want to achieve in life. I love books. I love reading. I love nature. The downside to Israel is that public transportation doesn't allow me to hop on a train and go anywhere and get everywhere. But the positive side is this city is really great. Peace and love.